Thank you for that wonderful introduction. That puts me on edge, you know what. As far as money goes, how much? I don't know about that. Anyway, without further ado, can you hear me in the back? Yeah. Don't say no, so I can't shout any louder. Right. Emma asked me not to prepare a big speech, but I've narrowed it down to about 11 pages. So it's a good job we've all eaten, I think, and had a pudding, so... But I'll tell you what, you guys at the back probably have to read it. It's big font. Anyway, without further ado, good afternoon, everyone. As father of the bride, I have the pleasure of making the first speech and paving the way for the star speakers, the groom, and the best man. I'm sure they're both itching to get him.
Exactly. That's what
it's getting blessed. I'd like to welcome you here all today, as you've all played some part, however small, in the lives of Emma and Glen. And I know that your presence here is important. I'd like to thank Glen's parents, Janet and Barry, on behalf of the bride and groom, for their combined efforts towards the organisation of the wedding. So thank you very much. I've got a few more thank yous to go through. Many thanks to the minister, Andy, the rocking Rev, for doing the official bit back at the church. It was really a beautiful service. Thank you. And I like the shirt. Why did he take it off? Come on, never mind, but thanks anyway. Excellent. Also, on behalf of Emma and Glen, the following people deserve a special mention for their help in today's proceedings. Sophia, for the beautiful flowers. Is Sophia with us? Have I said that? Nelson Ryan, thank you. Annalise, for the invites and table plans, etc. Absolutely beautiful. For the gentleman over there that's got the camera pointing at us, and that's David. Fantastic job. Thank you. Stuart for the reading in the church today. Absolutely. And last but not least, Peter and Jenny Caulfield for being the witnesses today at the church. So thank you very much to those. Now then, for a bit of trivia on Emma. She says, "Oh no, Dad, please don't." Right. As a baby, Emma didn't like having a dummy in the mouth, which for parents can be a nightmare, trying to console and continuously crying baby. Luckily, we found that a particular expensive jumper of Jan's had an amazing effect on Emma. As Emma lay coming up to Jan, she was sucked in the jumper, and this would stop Emma crying. So the jumper was given up to become Emma's Soother, which over the next 12 years has had much wear and tear. And I have an example today. This is... it out, right? That is what's left, right? And I don't know if it's right, but I think you still use it today, don't you?
Every night.
Do you know, she never let us wash that, you know?
Yeah, it's
Please don't wash it. But you know, it was an expensive jumper, but those are absolutely priceless. You can't buy them, can you? That's absolutely fantastic. So, excellent. Jan and I are very proud parents today. Emma has always brightened up our lives in many ways. Especially one day, I had to do this, right? When we were in Focus DIY store, as we did most weekends when the kids were all young. On one occasion, sticks out more than any other. Whilst looking for paint and wallpaper, etc., Emma unexpectedly came up to us both. "Daddy, I've been a good girl. Done wee-wees on toilet," she said, with her innocent, angelic smile. Jan and I both looked at each other, then towards Emma's direction and said, "What toilet?" we said, with a certain amount of apprehension. "Look, Daddy, this one here." Yeah, you've guessed it. It was the shop floor display. Anyway, thankfully the store manager found it quite amusing, which was a relief. Emma was 14 years, sorry, 4, that's Being Emma's dad, I've had many memories of her growing up. I've seen Emma being sick, I've seen her wet herself, crawl around on the floor and cry just about anything. But I think that's enough about her turning 18 and coming home after much to drink. That were a good one, wasn't it? Now I can't leave Glen out, can I? So I've got to have some trivia on Glen. Is that alright, mate? Yeah, well you haven't anyway, so... Right. Glen, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you into our family, but I'm sure you know that you've always been welcome since the first day we met at our house. Emma had begged me not to take you into the front room and interrogate you like I promised. But I did I? No, I let you off that, didn't I? Mind you, once I found out that Glen was a Bradford City supporter, everything was rosy, yes. Although, if you did utter those words L''S, any guesses what that is? No, we're not saying it, are we? We wouldn't be here today, would we, Glen, eh? You know, yeah, absolutely. So, come on, you Bradford, who went to the match yesterday? Yes! Come on, City. Absolutely. Don't get that one. Following on in the football theme, Glen plays football for a couple of football teams. One of them being Bradford City supporters Stewards, who played a charity match at Valley Parade in May this year. I filmed and produced a DVD. I just have to have a copy here if you'd like to have a look here, right? Okay. By the way, not to miss a trick. £5.99 or 2 for £10. Okay. And don't all rush at once. I'll take orders after. Okay. Anyway, Glen scored the first goal, which was an absolute beauty. We were really proud of Glen on that day. It was an absolute goal. So well done. So, in light of the current striker shortage within the Bradford City team, I sent Stu, you know, McCall, a copy of the DVD for him to look at, right? And as much as he liked your prowess, technical ability, and catwalk model good looks, unfortunately, due to your high wage demands of £25 a week, the club just can't afford you. But if you were to drop £5 off your asking price, then it might have a deal. But I tried anyway. All right, mate. But it was a cracking goal. Trust me, he was fantastic. He was fantastic. I remember when the time came for Glen to ask me for Emma's hand in marriage. I knew something was going to happen, as he kept ringing to ask me if he could come over for a chat. True to form, I kept putting him off, teasing him somewhat and winding him up. Anyway, eventually Glen came over and, as I suspected, asked me if he could marry Emma, to which I said with a straight face, I'll have to think about that. Glen's face was a picture. But, in a flash, I put him out of his misery, shook his hand and said, yes, of course you can, and here we are today. Every father hopes his daughter will find a smart, reliable, considerate young man. And in Glen, I believe you've just done that. So, yeah. That's wonderful. Before I get to the toast, I'd like to share a little bit more about what I find about weddings. I did read a book about some wedding trivia. And it stated that there are 3 key elements to the success of a wedding day. They are the aisle, the longest walk you'll ever take. Wasn't it just? Yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah, right. It'd be your fault. Right. The altar, the place where 2 become 1. The hymn, the celebration of the marriage. Do you know, I'm sure Emma must have read the same book, as I heard her mumbling recently. I'll alter him, I'll alter him, I'll alter him. Is that right? You found it funny, didn't you, Kate? Emma, I've always known that you're a beautiful woman, but I've never seen you look so beautiful on radio. And we're extremely proud of you. Okay? As we stood waiting to make our entrance and walk down the aisle, I asked Emma if everything was okay and could we go, and she said yes, and off we went like a rocket down the aisle. And we got there, we were brilliant. So, here we are today, and I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, we have a radiant bride, we have a handsome groom. Please join me in the toast to Emma and Glen. Emma and Glen. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.